Hi there, and welcome to week 3 of the Show Me the Money. And obviously, one person beside me is very happy. Craig, how's it going?
Good evening, Johnny, and good evening from little Stephen, little Sean, and the leader, little Doug. They've, as you can see, they reside now on the mantelpiece, but they've jumped off the mantelpiece to join us for the show this evening. So, good evening from all of them as well.
Unfortunately, none of them are watching so far, but they might watch at the beginning, and this will be a little. This will be on until week 11. I think it's week 11 you play them, so they better get used to that. It's like we'll maybe get a bit of Christmassy theme at some over Christmas, but yeah.
We'll not watch it live, Johnny. We'll jump in and watch it later on and kid on they've not seen it. That's Doug's favourite move. You know, and then he'll say something that you said in it, and you'll say, well, how did you know that you didn't watch?
Yeah, that sounds about right. But you might make a comment on that too. So obviously, it's a pretty small screen. We get a bigger one, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's, I mean, 3 weeks in, so we're 3 weeks in, Johnny, and, you know, as usual in Show Me the Money, it's been uber competitive, and there's only 2 teams not got yet to get off the mark, and 3 have got their 3 wins intact, you know, and unbeaten. But yes, start off at the factory of sadness. Defending champions jumping out 2-1. You know, it's scary times. Varsity Blues changed my life, or needs to change his fantasy luck, I think, because 59.12 points, and the Grootmeister is now 0-3. And I mean,
Sean's a high score of the week, 108. So yeah,
without a tight end, no less. Without a tight end, no less. And it's, I think he kind of looked at it and thought, do you know what? I don't want to drop anyone that I've got, and it's only Groty I'm playing, so why the hell not? And away he went. You know, it was. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Sean just
you know, top
point
half.
after point after point. Darnold went nuts. Henry went nuts.
Yeah.
Jones went nuts. Chase went nuts. So I mean, that's his keepers being Henry and Chase. That's them both kind of showing up now. You know, it's he's 2-1, and his 2 keepers have started to show up now. Aaron Jones and Darnold. Darnold looks the business there in Minnesota, doesn't he? What the hell's going on there?
Yeah, he's having a cracking year, but it's got to come off. There's no way he can keep it going. It is Darnold after all, but
you've got to think, don't you? But you listen. You ride the horse, but when the horse is bolting, you ride it, don't you? You don't try and jump off when it's in mid-flight. So yeah, Sean will be quite happy about that. And it's I mean, I don't think the game's ever really in any danger for him throughout the weekend. You know, it's neither of them had a player playing on Thursday night, so it was all on Sunday. And yeah, I mean, Groty leaving Veli in, that was obviously a big boo-boo because Veli didn't play. But, he's getting 3.6 from Pittman. I mean, the biggest problem Groty's got here for me is his quarterback is regressing massively in a team that look absolutely awful in Trevor Lawrence. And Michael Pittman is just, he's suffering from a poor quarterback.
And Javonte Williams hasn't done much either.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. And must be slightly, and he's got McLaughlin there on the bench, and it must be slightly worrying that who is it, Baddy came in and got like 90 yards from 7 touches or something like that. So he's got the 2. He thought he had the Denver backfield covered, and he's not, because that lad he's popped up with some. But so I mean, he'll get some wins. The team's good enough to get some wins for Groty. Kyle Walker will be back soon. Addison will be back soon. Hawkinson will be coming in. He's got the players there, but it's a long way to playoffs from 0-3, isn't it? I missed what I missed.
Hold on a second.
Okay, Dougie? You see it fine. Little Dougie's seen
it. There you go. That's what you wanted to see.
Little Dougie's seen it.
On the mantelpiece.
But yeah, so but back to the game anyway. Now that we've been after being rudely interrupted, yeah. I mean, Groty will win games, but from 0-3, it's a long way to the playoffs. It's been done. I'm sure it's been done, so it's not out of the question. But Sean must be pretty happy. I mean, he's going for 2 in a row. He had a Goose Egg and Shahid and no tight end playing. He got 4 points from his defence and his kicker, and he's still the top scorer of the week. So
it's pretty mental.
We're looking good
What's
for
his bench?
Camp. Yeah, his bench is very good. You know, he's got Zamir White there, who's going to have better weeks than that. And Bucky Irvin could end up being the man. You are living rent free at McDermott Towers, Mr. Baxter, and you are for the next 8 weeks as well. But
Bucky Irvin,
so great week for Sean, awful week for Grote, and going into that's the run of the divisional games done now, so they're off out into the big bad world, and we've got Grote's got to go and play the 2-1 Bluetoon Patriots. You know, Chris is on the up, and Grote's away to the 3-0 Kirkwall Raiders. So that's when you're on three. When you're on 3, you don't need to be running into a 3-0 team. You know, so tough week for both of them next week. It has to be said. But a good one for for Sean.
This one's a bit closer than you thought.
It was a lot closer than I thought, Johnny, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you what, I woke up on Friday morning absolutely spewing. I fell asleep 5 minutes into the game, and I woke up absolutely spewing when I saw 20, what was it, 30 yards and a fumble or something, 27 yards and a fumble,
23 yards and a fumble.
23 yards and a fumble. So, that made it a long Friday, a long Saturday, and a long Sunday to 6 o'clock until the game started. Panicking, that I'd talked myself into a loss. But, I mean, Doug took the swing with Derek Carter. He took the swing. He thought, here he come. And here he comes. And then he woke up on Monday morning saying, dude, where's my car? So... that didn't work out for him. I mean, Cousins only got 11, so it didn't make much of a difference, and he has to do something losing Tua, but other than that, it's a running back issue that he's got, really, he's Nico Collins didn't have a great game, still scored 8 points, and Neighbours, I cheekily went and asked him for a trade for Neighbours, but he quickly slammed the door on that, the door in my face very, very quickly, so don't blame him either. It's Neighbours is a keeper.
Yes, Lynn, that's Craig again, yeah.
So
your defence certainly helped the Packers' defence. That nice pick six, which won you the game, basically.
They've been great for me all season. I had 7 points in week 1, wasn't the best, but 13 last week and now 21 this week. Delighted going for them. I'm really worried about Calvin Ridley. I'm not going to lie. I've got him in quite a few places. Actually, I've done a trade in Knocknable, by the way. I traded out a Calvin Ridley. I took Hopkins and Ertz for him.
Whereabouts?
Sorry, I meant to tell you.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Flash, but Ridley. I'm very worried about Ridley. And it's not that I think he's going to be terrible, and it's not that I think that he's not going to get points. I think he's going to have some very good weeks. I just think he's going to have some very bad weeks as well. And my panic is that the bad weeks come, when playoffs come around, if I'm in them. But at 3-0, I'm confident of making them, at least making the playoffs, But obviously, I'm worried that Ridley goes off the boil in the wrong weeks, A-Chain had a bad game, but do you know what? I'm not worried about that because he is the man in Miami, and Mostert's going to come back, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Miami were just awful in the game, and they were so far behind from so early on, they had to go to there, really. So, which worked out awful for them. But Taylor's flying, Goff's getting better, and I overthought it this week and went with Strange. I thought I'm going to go and get someone in for Komet, and then of course Komet goes off, so he'll be put back in and do nothing again this week. But yeah, I'm absolutely taking 3-0 at this moment in time, and I can't say I'm disappointed.
Don't worry, Doug. I got offered a pretty bad trade offer this week as well, but they really got declined.
Well, you don't ask, you don't get. It's he could have come back and said, every pick in the draft next, your third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth for my last 8 type thing, but I would have obviously said no, but that would have been a response rather than unbelievable. It's very believable. You've got a very good player, and people are going to be interested in him.
Yeah, but he drafted him with the idea of keeping him, did he not?
Yeah, he's a keeper. Yeah, of course. Of course. But yeah, so delighted. I'm 3-0, top of the division. Sean's tucked in behind me at 2-1. And then Dougie's 1-2 and starting to flap a little bit with his running back issue. And Roti down there at 0-3. I mean, it's only 3 games behind top, it's not out completely out of it. And obviously Doug's right in it. He just needs to get a little bit of action from the running backs, as I say,
Oh yeah, Jacobs didn't do much at the weekend, but that was the Tennessee defence was a bit better than they thought. Plus the fact having that quarterback in, he does like to run as well, so it takes a bit off the Jacobs. But when Jordan Love's back, he'll get more running. So
definitely. I mean, Jacobs isn't a problem. Jacobs will do his thing. The problem he's got with Josh Jacobs, the problem you've got with Josh Jacobs there is that that's 3 games in now and he's not found the end zone yet.
no.
And that would be that's what my worry would be about Josh Jacobs. But I mean, he's going to get his yards, he's going to get his touches, and he's going to get his yards as long as he stays fit. There's no worry there. But it's what else he's got. He's got Brown and he's got Dowdle and he's got Davies, and I mean Brown, AJ Brown will be coming back very soon, and that'll help him out no end. Obviously, that was a big miss for him this week, and at 11 points of a difference, it could have made the difference, but he'll be back in soon, and he's got obviously he's got a good team there. Doug will do fit. I do still see Doug running the season well and winning some, But yeah, absolutely, and especially in this league. See in this league where there's no points for catches, there's no extra. You need it. This touchdown dependent.
It was a bit brutal. Yeah, it wasn't my better idea, but it's been around that long. We didn't have really PPR when this league started 11 years ago.
There was no PPR when this league started, Johnny. There was no PPR when this league started, and I like that we're doing that. We've kept it traditional and that we've not changed it because that's the league that we're in, and it's you're still scoring over 100 points. It's a 16-team league. It's very competitive, and they're all very close. And one injury can be the difference between making playoffs and not making playoffs and such, and that's a big thing. It's massive. But yeah, so into the East now, and we've got Kirkwall Raiders.
The Kirkwall Raiders now 3-0, 97.86 against the Blue Team Patriots now 2-1, 79.58. So this is a battle with the 2-0s as well. But yeah,
this will be spewing as well because Chris was leading that. When I was following this game, when I was looking in on this game as Sunday was going on, and I thought Chris was the favourite to win it. I thought Chris was going to win. I mean, Jefferson knocked it out. At he had 14.1 points at half time, and he had 14.1 points at full time. That's got to hurt, And of course, Allen's got a run out of rice late on in the Sunday, before it all got going, So yeah, I thought Chris was going to win this for a long, long way, but obviously he's Richardson's let him down
badly. Showed up on the Monday night to give him 20.
In the Monday night, yeah. So Allen came running on Monday, and with Higgins only getting 3.9.
Higgins will get better. His first game
back, that's his first game. So Mason will have much better weeks than that as well. As long as McCaffrey's out, Mason's going to be the man, isn't he? So I mean, he's got. It's not. Chris is in a very strong position. He's 2-1, and he's got a very good team there, So I wouldn't be worried if I was Chris. It's just one of those ones, but I would be more annoyed at the fact that I'm pretty sure he would have thought he was going to win the game most of Sunday. And as for Allen, well, I mean, what's he done? I mean, he's flying, isn't he? He's got Hall there. He's got Robinson going well. Lamb's going to do much better than that. Ferguson's back. Yeah. Williams, he's going to do really well. I think, James Williams, he is going to... And if Laporta misses any time, that can only help Williams, So options on the bench, yeah, he's got. I mean, what a difference a week makes, isn't it? The Carolina Panthers. You wouldn't touch any of them with a barge pole a week ago, and now everyone's scrambling for Hubbard and Johnston and.
Deontay Foreman. I think Ford's injured, so Foreman might be the number one running back next week for Cleveland.
Yeah, so I mean, Allen's in a very strong, very strong position. Allen's in, so he'll be laughing, and as I say, this was a steal for him. So when you come back from behind and win a game like this, that's when you kind of know that might just be your season,
Yeah. Well, they're going to get a new person in the final, so we've got next. We've got the boys
here
are
it
back
comes.
in town, 44.74. Not the best outcome, Ross, against our pre-season favourite, Hide and Zeke, 97.08. So his team's showed up eventually. 0-3 now
Well,
against 1-2 for Graham. So this is what, well, yeah, look at that. 20, 15, 29, 12 for Harrison. Even 8 for Harris. Isn't bad. 5 for the defence. We had Jaden Daniels on the bench at 30 points and Jaden Reed 6.9. But you're not really
yeah,
going
do
to
you know
drop
what?
Mahomes for Daniels. So
He's got the balls to play Daniels over Mahomes as well. He really does, and I wouldn't blame him for doing so. Now, Mahomes isn't brilliant for fantasy. I've noticed, though, he's brilliant for the NFL, but he doesn't seem to score as many as you would think that he would in fantasy for one
well,
reason or
20,
another.
20
But
points is one of the highest scoring quarterbacks this week. So he still managed to score points.
he did this week, but he scored well this week. But I mean, the last 2 weeks he's been very poor. I mean, not one single person who had Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback in fantasy football last year won a Super Bowl. Not one. And if anyone tells you they did, they're lying. Prove it, because he was awful through the playoff weeks, absolutely awful. And fantasy wise, fantasy scoring wise. But yeah, I mean, well, here's the story. Here's the story with Graham, right? So he's flying back from Zante in Greece on Sunday. Plenty of time. He's flying into Glasgow, but plenty of time to get himself home for the 6 o'clock kickoffs, grab a wee bite to eat on the way, etc. Spends an hour and a half on the tarmac, plain clothes, waiting to go. An hour and a half on the tarmac and in Greece before finally taking off. Lands in Glasgow, gets to the baggage hall. It took an hour and a half for the bags to show up.
Oh, bloody hell, man.
ends up ordering food, getting a Tesco order, doing a Tesco order before they left, thinking we're back in plenty of time to pick that up. It doesn't close till 8 o'clock. We'll be back in plenty of time. We'll put the order in and just pick it up on the way by. They got there at 1 minute to 8, rushed in, grabbed the stuff, probably pissed off everyone in that Tesco shop because they'll have to hang about and wait for them because they shut at 8,
Oh, definitely.
and he gets in and he misses pretty much all of the 6 o'clocks, but he is now home. That's him back. He can start concentrating on his team now, and this is it starting to come alive. Obviously, he was never going to disappear into the night, even at 0-2. Mahomes,
No, God, no.
Moss, Williams, Flowers, Harrison. They're all going to be scoring well. He's got Reed on, and look at the bench. Cup to come
I
back.
know.
He's got Reed down there. Moss start to come back. I know he's had enough at Gus the bus now. He's given Gus the heave ho. Who did he bring in for him again? Tyler Lockett. Yeah. So, I mean, he was a preseason favourite for a reason. And did he cock up the draft? Probably. Is he still a massive contender? Absolutely. And
Definitely.
yeah, Ross is in a bit of trouble, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Warren and Spears. That is his only. Well, he's got Braylon Allen. He's got 3 running.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Badal. Is he even playing? No.
No. He's not.
He's
He's not
got,
even getting suited up.
no.
I don't. He's not suited up once this season yet. Yeah, Vidal's. I put on agency for me. I mean, Allen is going to be coming in. Well, he's going to have to come in because I believe Warren is missing at least this week. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Olave's at least turned up. He's got Dell sitting there who's done absolutely nothing. Another goose egg from Andrews. Andrews would be worrying me greatly now. I'm so glad I've got 0 shares in him this year. But yeah, worrying times for Ross. The Cowboys' defense. The Cowboys' defense on paper is absolutely solid as a rock.
They'll probably score. They'll probably score about 30 points tonight against the Giants.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully
But
not,
yeah,
but
I
you never
mean,
know.
I hope he stuck. I hope he stuck with them for this week because I mean, you would think that the Giants has a kind of favourable game for them in the sense that they had a great game, the good game last week. But even the good game last week, it was the defence that really won that for you, wasn't it?
Well, they did okay in the first half. The second half, it disappeared. The first half, they were okay.
Yeah. I mean, Jones done well, to be fair. Jones done well, and Singletree looks decent. But yeah, I mean, I would be worried with Hurts as well, to be honest with you. They don't look quite right at the moment.
No.
Is it because
Well,
AJ Brown's out?
you lost the
He
body
lost
Smith as
Math.
well, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
You lose your top two receivers, but then Stafford adapted, but it's a tough one. And you've still got Barkley running through the defence and going for 60-odd yards.
And that's the thing, so they don't need him to be going nuts. That's, so it would be, it is slightly worrying me for the places that have got Hurts, but I mean, he should still come good and he should be fine. But, Ross's team just worries me. His running backs worry me. And I do like Braylon Allen. I think he'll be very, and I think he'll get his touches, but yeah, his running back situation, much like many, I'm sure, isn't the strongest. So, a long way from 0-3, but not dead. Far from dead.
So here
And
comes
Graham's in it now.
The closest game of the week. Batman's Boobies getting off the mark. 78.6 against 78.34. Go from badly Jets. If you're wondering how the hell they lost this one. How the hell did they lose this one? You still had Kittle and you didn't even take Kittle out. Rayman.
So, yeah, I mean, there you go. So, that's with Kittle. But, yeah, I mean, literally, all he needed was 3 more yards from Elliott, or, in fact, 1 more yard from it. No, 3 more yards from Elliott, or, 3 more yards from Bijan. Did Bijan actually go off? I didn't see any of the game at all, and I've not seen the highlights yet. Did Bijan finish the game? I just see that he's got a question mark on him.
I can't actually remember. I don't know what does it say.
But yeah, it's I mean, what a win for Ray after everything that we said last week. That he's going to, has anyone done an all season and blah blah. And typically we talked him into a good win. Pretty much thanks to Brock Purdy balling out, despite the Niners being utter trash. Leaving Kittle in's not the best move in the world, but it was enough to win. He's got
clicking on the player's not making any difference.
Yeah, I mean, Johnson getting some touches at last for him's a good thing, I guess, and it's long may it continue because I've got him in a lot of places. But he needs to move McCaffrey to injured reserve and get someone else in there, anyone else in there, He's got the option of Quentin Johnson there, and he's got Nuka on there as well. Get one of them onto the bench, into IR. But yeah, Mark, it's one of those ones, isn't it? He'll be delighted that Rodgers is. I mean, Rodgers looked pretty good, to be fair to him, It's. I think he's in for a good season there with Rodgers. I'm just not quite sure that Wilson's going to be the man who's getting all of it, which Mark would have been hoping for. And that 9.30 that he scored there was very touchdown dependent. Other than that, it's 33 yards by my count.
Yeah.
So that must be slightly worrying. And Waddle, obviously, I mean, Waddle's just, you've got to hope that Huntley finds something with him, but I don't think it's the end of the season for Hill as long as Tua's out, but I think it's the end of the season for Waddle. Kelsey's just, Kelsey's freaking me out, and I've got him in a lot of places. So yeah, I mean, it's disappointing to lose such a close game for Mark, but the players are there if they can just start showing up, it is a little bit worrying, but long way to go, and these guys are very, very good football players, so you never know. But for Ray, it's a good win. It's a great win. He's got one on the board. But Sanders, Johnston, and that's the only 2 options he's got for running back. I mean, that can't be good.
Jesus. Is Kittle even going to play this week? He might have no tight end.
Is Kittle out again?
I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, he's going to have to go to work. Is it already? He's going to need to jump on and get some work done and make some changes. Otherwise, it's going to go Petey Tong.
Very, very quickly. Doug can let us know if Kittle's going to play. So
he's off the mark, and that's the main thing. He is off the mark. One on the board.
Having those players out as well, it's a pretty good one to get a win, and it's a decent enough score.
78.6 is not to be sneezed at, and it will win games. It will win a lot of games, So Yeah, great for Ray. I'm delighted for him. I'm delighted he's off the mark. And then here we go.
So 100 points for Tartan Bears, lose to 106 points to the Park Flying Eagles. They're 3-0. Tartan Bears got to 1-2. Now this is a sore one to lose. So
I mean, over 100 points. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the first over 100 points to lose this year.
I don't know.
And it's, I mean, to that, it's not to worry about, you know. It's not to worry about because it is that. And, you know, Friday morning, Joe would have woke up absolutely delighted with 16 points from his defence. He'd been thinking, in the bag, baby, this is done. I'm going to win this game. But, you know,
well, he would have
no
won
one
this game
ever wins
until
a game on a Thursday
that.
night.
Well, Doug says that Kittle's been practicing, so. But yeah,
Yeah, he's been at practice.
It was that bloody that long rush for Barkley, which basically sealed it because like that, he was not really doing much until he had that 40-odd yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, it
was
all
sort of
Cooper as
stuck
well.
in the middle and scrappy. But then that's what changed the game, and obviously that would have gotten 10 points and a hell of a difference in this game. So he got 14 points for Debo as well. He thinks so. Debo and Kittle. Although Debo was doubtful in some places, so I don't know whether they're going to play or not. But I hate when they do that.
Oh, no, I don't think Debo's going to be playing, but I think Kittle might be back. But I mean, would you
17
not be
points for
worried?
Goddard. Jesus.
Are you worried about Brandon Ayuk though? I mean, come on.
No.
They've paid him as a top 10 wide receiver in the league, and he's not even the top. He's like, he looks like he's the fourth target with Kittle out and Samuel out and CMC out, and he looks like he's about the fourth pick. I
Well, I
mean,
did say in the
yes,
other
okay.
podcast, he was free for a long touchdown, but Purdy took too long and then had to dump it off. So
Yeah, but I
then
mean,
that's his
yeah, he
one
was
play.
free, but would he have caught it if it went to him?
Well, you never know, will you? Because he had a lot of good long touches. He seemed to be good, but I'm not worried yet. I think
Yeah,
he
I
does
mean,
better when the other one's
he's
in the
going to
team.
have he's going to have his games. He's too good not to. But top 10 wide receiver in the league, behave yourself. But yeah, Terry McLaurin's there to come in as well for him as well. Now, I mean, Graham's absolutely stacked, and
Yeah.
I love Kyler Murray at quarterback, and I think he's going to have massive weeks. I mean, and I think 15 is kind of going to be his bad weeks going forward. Obviously, Amari Cooper seems to, you know, Watson's loving Amari Cooper. So must be happy about that. And James Cook is just absolute workhorse back in that Buffalo team, and they are running the ball a lot more now.
They are.
So yeah, Graham's going to be delighted, but Joe can't be that. There's no despondency. There should be no despondency in Joe. He's on to 1 point, 1 and 2. Yes, okay, fair enough. But I mean, his team are scoring points, and his bench are scoring points. You know,
Yeah.
you thought
Almost
it was the end
arguably,
of Kirk. I thought it was the end of Kirk after week 2, but then he bounces back with 79 yards. You know, you've got Lazard down there, who's we all know he's a favourite of Rodgers. So yeah, nothing to worry about, Joe. Nothing to worry about, pal. 100 points. Stroud's going to have much better games than that as well.
Oh God,
And
he'll have a bounce back this week. I think he's going to have a good game this week.
I
And
mean,
they're
you
not
can
playing
maybe worry about
Jacksonville.
Swift because
So.
Swift's rotten, but yeah. Nothing to worry about. 100 points in the bag, 1 and 2, but no issues.
Well, that is the one thing. Obviously, Smith. He has a bit of a problem with running back if he's having to stick with Swift, which he's only got Ty Chandler as his backup.
Yeah, Ty Chandler's his only other option, so it's
Go
it
visit
should.
Sean. He's got other Sean's got other running backs. He might offer
Yeah,
you
knocking
Zamir White.
Sean's for. He does
I
like
think
a trade as well.
he wants to get rid of Zamir White. I think so. You can always try and get him. I think I'd rather stick with Ty
Yeah,
Chandler, to be honest.
and
Yeah,
maybe just stick
and
with Swift.
obviously we have scheme team 101.28 against their regular season, usually top high scorers 80.86 living in a prayer. Obviously, this will be scheme team's last season. So it'd be quite cool if he came out with a bang. So it's a nice 101 points for Alan. I think he's sort of lost interest in fantasy football since Tom Brady left the Patriots. Because obviously he's a Patriots
Yeah,
fan and they've been shit ever since. So yeah, Plus, so you had Jackson, and he managed to pick up Jennings and play him. So there's 35 points in a non-PPR, which will win most games. So
yeah, I mean that's what's won it for him, really, isn't it? Jennings, great pick up and great at that, and put him in straight away. Boom. I mean, see those who picked him up and didn't put him in, they want shot, they really do. But yeah, great win for Allen. It's 2-1 as well. You know, team's solid as a rock. Jackson, Connor, Gibson's going to get some touches. You know, Jennings, JSN will have better weeks. McBride. I mean, it's a heck of a team that he's put together for a guy. You know, for someone who's not paying any attention. You know, it's upset to see him go. I have to say, but I'd gone out with a bang by the looks of it, you know, and certainly at 2-1 in that team.
He's got Debo on his bench as well. Debo, Sutton and Eckler on his bench, Tyler Boyd. Yeah, Allen's got a pretty sneaky strong team too. And obviously, a regular season usual champion had Dunzi on the bench at 17 points, and Thielen on IR. Oh, bugger in hell.
Yeah, Thielen's gone. He's gone, the old man's gone.
That might be the end of him then, because how was he about 400 moves, you know? So yeah. But Bowers will have more of a game. He's lost to Bonte Smith. He's looking pretty questionable this week, I think.
I can't see him playing. I can't see Devontae Smith playing. That was there's no way he gets out of concussion protocol. And I mean, Pollard will have better weeks than that. Again, they were behind, had to go to the air. You know, that's nothing to worry about. Prescott's finally showed up this season. You know, you get Kamara there. Hill will still get his touches. I'm convinced of it. I don't think Miami are going to swivel off into the night. I think when they bring in Huntley, they'll still be winning some games. I think Hill will be okay. I'm more worried about Waddle than I am Hill. But and Brock Bowers is going to get stronger as the season goes on, you know. So I think I see a lot of drafting from this. When I look through Michael's team, actually, you know, this team looks and drafts like a guy who wins the regular season a lot and gets pumped in the playoffs, because he's going with it. You know, the rookies are flowing with like Brock Bowers, who will get better as the season goes on. Rather, you know, you've got Tracy there, who might start coming in as the season goes on. You've got Adunze, who's going to get better as the season goes on. You know, he's got his stable, you know, of Mixon and Kamara and Prescott and Hill. You know, but he's got these rookies, and he's drafted them for playoff time. That's not for regular season. So well played, Michael. I do like the tactic.
Yeah, they still set at 2-1, so they both of them are 2-1. This is the one I don't want to talk about.
Been noticed. So, and here you go. Yeah, I mean,
my Embry ravaged team, and I might even lose another running back this week as well, which would be fun. Because Ford's questionable; he's not been practicing. Obviously, Henry's not starting this week, but.
At the end of the day, Johnny, you ran into 102 points from Eskimo Brothers, you know, so you can't expect that from a team who's 0-2. So yeah, it was one of those weeks. Allen, I mean, that was been minus 1.1 from one of his running backs as well. So
yeah, but I had Allen at 38 points, and you had Dalton Kincaid, and he had, who else did you have Monday night? He had somebody else. Etienne as well.
The Broncos D done him proud as well this week. You know, Drake London. He had Drake London late in a late game,
and he's got the sneaky Jalen Naylor. He gets a touchdown a game. That's a nice one to get.
He's got Hubbard sitting on the bench too. So I can't believe he played Jamal Williams over Hubbard. Sean, what were you thinking, son? But yeah,
I know that was a bit.
He'll be bringing in Hubbard this week.
I know. I think obviously Williams got loads of points a week before, but that was garbage time points when they were far ahead. So
you're only going to get garbage time in against Philly, you know. But I mean, when you run into 38 points, Johnny, it's that, you know, 38 points wins a lot of games in this format, you know, non-PPR. So you can't be upset about that. As you say, if you lose Ford, that's a problem, you know, with Ingram out and obviously Pacheco on the.
Yeah, I think I was 30 points ahead on Monday night, but you had Allen, Etienne, and Kincaid. So I knew I wasn't going to manage to scrape that one through. But yeah, that was a bit of a mental one. But yeah, Allen just looked fucking awesome on Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, after how bad he looked in weeks 1 and 2, it's he's shown that.
I was hoping for a week 2 performance, but it didn't come.
Yeah,
it's a good win for Sean.
Good win for Sean. And it's nothing to be worried about for you. I would say, you know, it's the core of the team is there. You know, I think you might get another week out of Akers as well. You know, if you do lose Ford as well, but Gibbs is going to score well this season. Wandale looks, you know, Neighbours is obviously the number one target, but I think Jones quite likes Wandale. I think he's going to get more and more as the season goes on, provided he stays fit.
He's a better PPR than non-PPR though, because he gets all small catches and it depends what he does with it afterwards. But no, it's a nice one. Dupes will do better when Love's back.
Of course, and you know, Henry doing Henry things in it.
Yeah,
He wins you 1 week and he
I don't think he's in my team now. I can't remember, but but who the fuck would you thought Denver knocking 26 points against the Buccaneers defense? That was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, well,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, another one. Oh, like, man. Yeah, because it'd been so good the first couple of weeks, and then bang, you come up against Denver at home. No, they were in Denver. No. Yeah, and Tampa getting absolutely fucking pumped. And of course, to make it worse, he had the Broncos defense.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you for that.
It's one of those ones where, I mean, I said it pre-season as well. I don't think the Bucks are a particularly good team. I don't think Mayfield's a particularly good quarterback. And as much as I think Evans will have his weeks and he'll get 1,000 yards, I do believe that. And Godwin's going to have his weeks. I think they're going to have a lot of bad weeks as well, you know, and that's kind of where my problem lies with them. And again, it's, you know, if the bad weeks come in the playoff weeks, then you're screwed, you know. But it is what it is, you know. He's got him now, and you've got to run with him. And he'll have some big weeks, is the thing, you know. So it's not one to worry about, but he will go low weeks as well, you know. So, but great win off the mark for Sean. And
well, I get the pleasure of playing Graham, the 3-0 Graham this week, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. You know, so what's the table looking like? The table's looking like then, Johnny. We've got.
Well, we've got Show Me the Money at the top of their division, 3-0. Factory of Sadness 2-1. The IBWT 1-2.
And Baxter We Trust
3. Kirkwall Raiders 3-0. Blue Team Patriots 2-1. Hide and Seek 1-2. And the boys are back down 0-3. The East have got 3-0 Farts Flying Eagles. She's got a 2-game up over Tartan Bears 1-2. Copen Ballad Jets 1-2. And the Batman's Boobies 1-2. And then a nice tight one down the bottom there. Scheme Team and Live in a Player both 2-1. Eshma Brothers and the Madhouse at 1-2. So there's only one game in it. But now we've got the East v West and the North v South.
North v South, yeah. So I mean, running through divisions, Johnny. You know, we've got. I mean, I'm quite happy where I'm at, obviously, and Sean can't be disappointed where he is. Doug must be relatively happy with his team. So, you know, and Grotty down there at 0-3, a lot of work to do, obviously. But you know that it's going to be tight, that one, you know. And then you know, Graham getting off the mark with this week and being strong, you know, and Kirkwall Raiders and Bluetooth Patriots looking so strong. It's looking hard for boys are back in town as well, you know. And then in the East, you've got Farts Flying Eagles and Tartan Bears both scoring over 100 points this week. So as much as Mark's team looks pretty decent, it's a tough to catch. It might be tough to catch those two, you know. And obviously Ray's now sitting 1-2 and must be cheesing with it. And your division absolutely wide open, Johnny. Wide open, your division is, eh?
Yeah. Oh, it's just a nightmare. And obviously, when Alan leaves, we're going to be replaced by Aaron. Did you ask Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron is well up for coming in. You know,
that'll make that division just as hard because obviously he's a good fantasy player. Don't tell him I said that.
He loves his fight. You know, he really enjoys playing the game. It's hooked him in. You know, it's grabbed him by the bollocks like it does with everyone. You know, and it's given him a love for the sport as well that he didn't quite have before he started playing fantasy. You know, it was I could never quite get him into it.
Yeah, and obviously you got looks like Ford is practicing today, so that's a good sign. So hopefully you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's good for you. And so it's East v West then. North v South next week. So
yeah,
we've
so
got
the matchups this week, obviously you're playing against Hide and Seek. The boys are back in town against the Baxter We Trust. Factory of Sadness against the Blue Toon Patriots. That'll be a good game. Varsity Blues, Kirkwall Raiders getting a bye this week playing against the Varsity Blues. Tartan Bears against Esco Brothers will be a good game. Scheme Team against the Batman's Boobies. You got to, well, you'd have thought Alan might win, but after Ray's heroics last week, you never know what's going to happen.
you never know.
Coping badly,
You never know.
Coping badly Jets against Lebanon in a prayer. Is that's like a sort of family derby? Is it? Is that the one?
It's a Peterhead derby. They both
derby.
like Peterhead.
And then
It's a
obviously
Peterhead derby.
an
Yeah.
Orkney derby, even though Graham's in Glasgow. One of the oldest rivalries in this league, actually. So me against Parks, who's had the upper hand the last couple of years to get. But yeah, should be a good one.
That's it in Kirkwall as well. Kirkwall is an Orkney derby of sorts. But do you know what? Do you know what my game of the week this week is? My game of the week this week is Varsity Blues against Kirkwall Raiders. And the reason being, Kirkwall Raiders obviously 3-0 and absolutely flying. Team looks solid as a rock. And Varsity Blues, not so good. 0-3, struggling a little bit. That's when you turn that. That's when the 0-3 wins, isn't it? Always when you write them off, when they're written off. So I am officially writing off Grote's team this week, and hopefully we'll be talking about Grote being 1-3 and Alan being 3-1 next week.
You know, Alan's not going to like that one.
Sorry, Alan, but it's just the way it is. It's the quicker the quicker everybody's all apart from mine goes, the better. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, Grote's made some changes this week as well. He'll be hoping Herbert gets in, but gets playing. But he's already slotted Walker into the starting slots and Addison,
Sean's
and Allen for
Taysom
that
Hill.
matter.
Yeah, Sean picked up Taysom Hill to Mark Twingway. Graham picked up Tyler Bass and dropped Hopkins. I picked up the Raiders and dropped the Dolphins. Alan picked up the Saints and dropped the Eagles. And Foster Moreau and dropped Tyler Boyd. Isaac Lockett, yeah. Miami, Packers. You got Davey Mix, have you got?
Yeah, I picked up the Well, I didn't need Brenton Strange anymore. I'm going to go back to Komet. It was my Komet toys are back in my pram, so I'm going to go back to him. So I didn't need Strange, and when I went to the agency, kind of Wicks was kind of the best one that I thought was there to sit on the bench for a bit, you know. And when Love comes back in, you know, you never know. I think when Love's playing, they'll all get some action, you know. So I'm happy with him sitting on the bench, and this week he'll not be playing this week. You know, I'll stick with Ridley for this week, and I'm probably going to go with Wilson this week. Drop Brian Thomas until he starts showing me that he can do stuff. You know, I know he's a beast of a player and he's going to be good, but until he starts scoring, I'm going to bench him for now. And yeah, that's where I'm going this week. But week 4, Johnny, there's 3 3-0s that everyone will be gunning for, and there's 2 0-2, 0-3s that need to get off the mark. I hope the 0-3s got off the mark this week. I really do. But
yeah, I don't mind because I'm not playing any of them, so I'd rather did before I played them. You don't want to be the one that breaks a duck. Yeah. There
exactly.
You go. We'll finish off in the mantelpiece for Doug.
So yeah, there they are. They will go back on now. So it's a good night from Little Stephen. And I'll just for anyone who didn't see last week's, Little Stephen has been represented by Le'Veon Bell because he's in his Jets jersey. And much like Grote is at fantasy football, Bell was crap with the New York Jets. We have little, we've got a little Kelly for Sean. Not only because he's been in 4 Super Bowls as well, but he's also got as much hair as Sean has in this day and age. And then the King of the Hill, we have little Dougie, who's been represented by Carson Wentz, because, you know, Ginge for Ginge. So they will all jump back onto the mantelpiece and live there for...
Yeah, I can't see Alan losing either, but Craig might have put a cross in him.
I think anyone's roster, but listen, you would not have thought that Mark's roster could have lost to Raymond last week, and it did. So, stranger things have happened. Yeah. And Grote's been at the agency, and he's been at work, so he's changing things around a bit. So you never know.
And the big question is, will Craig be 4-0 next week or 3-1 when he plays the pre-season favourite? So this will be your hardest match so far, then.
It very much is. I think it'll come down, for me, it'll come down to what Calvin Ridley does. If Ridley doesn't show, I'm not going to get away with Ridley not showing up this week. I'm not going to get away with Stevenson not showing up this week. I need them to show up this week.
He just had a bad game last week. Although the defensive line did get tattered, but yeah, he's usually he'll do better.
Looking at Graham's squad, I feel like I need to score 90 plus to have a chance. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the two that are watching. Well, one of them's Doug, but I don't know who the other one is because I'm not leaving a message. But thank you for watching.
It was Alan. He just said it's Alan, John. He did say
Alan. He's been awfully quiet.
Alan's no, he's not been talking. Sorry, I thought I seen his name pop up. But yes.
No, Doug just mentioned Alan's team's good, but I don't know who's watching. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. And good luck to everybody, apart from Graham Farcar.
And Doug.
And Doug, obviously. Always Doug. We always have to say Doug. Catch you later, guys.
Cheers out.